Welcome to the Asia Pacific Association of Educators Training and Institute, the seventh wave or the seventh wave free webinar that we offer. Okay, let me introduce to you my topic. So the RA 9155. Okay, what is this RA 9155? So RA 9155, otherwise known as the Governance of Basic Education Act of 2001. It's an act instituting a framework of governance for basic education, establishing authority and accountability, renaming the Department of Education, Culture and Sports as the Department of Education, and or other purpose. Okay, let us have first the first section or the section 1. In section 1, we have the short title. This act shall be known as the Governance of Basic Education Act of 2001. Section 2, we have the Declaration of Policy. It is hereby declared the policy of the state to protect and promote the right of all citizens to quality basic education and to make such education accessible to all by providing all Filipino children a free and compulsory education in the elementary level and free education in the high school level. Such education shall also include alternative learning systems for out-of-school youth and adult learners. So it shall be the goal of basic education to provide them with the skills, knowledge, and values they need to become caring, self-reliant, productive, and patriotic citizens. The school shall be the heart of the formal education system. It is where the children learn. Schools shall have a single aim of providing the best possible basic education for all learners. Governance of basic education shall begin at the national level. It is at the regions, divisions, schools, and learning centers, herein referred to as the field offices, where the policy and principles for the governance of basic education shall be translated into programs, projects, and services developed, adapted, and offered to fit local needs. The state shall encourage local initiatives for improving the quality of basic education. The state shall ensure that the values, needs, and aspirations of a school community are reflected in the program of the education for the children, out of school youth and adult learners. Schools and learning centers shall be empowered to make decisions on what is best for the learners they serve. So let us move on to section 3, which is the purposes and objectives. The purposes and objectives of this act are the following. First is to provide the framework for the governance of basic education, which shall set the general directions for educational policies and standards, and establish authority, accountability, and responsibility for achieving higher learning outcomes. Next is to define the roles and responsibilities of and provide resources to the field offices which shall implement the educational programs, projects, and services in communities they serve. The third one is to make the schools and learning centers the most important vehicle for the teaching and learning of the national values and for developing in the Filipino learners' love of country and pride in its rich heritage. Okay, the fourth one is to ensure that schools and learning centers receive the kind of focused attention they deserve, and that educational programs, projects, and services take into account the interest of all members of the community. Okay, to enable the schools and learning centers to reflect the values of the community by allowing teachers or the learning facilitators and other staff to have the flexibility to serve the needs of all learners. Okay, to encourage local initiatives for the improvement of the schools and learning centers, and to provide the means by which these improvements may be achieved and sustained. Okay, here there are a lot of uh, local helps wherein they help to improve the school for the learners. Okay, to establish schools and learning centers as facilities where school children are able to learn a range of core competencies prescribed for elementary and high school education programs, or where the out-of-school youth and adult learners are provided alternative learning programs and receive accreditation for at least the equivalent of a high school education. Okay, since we used or the RA 9155 used some terms which is not very clear to us, so section 4 will define each term. So the purposes of this act, the terms or the phrases used shall mean or be understood as follows. So these are the terms that RA 9155 used. So first one is the alternative learning system or the ALS. Okay. Um, It is a parallel learning system to provide a viable alternative to the existing formal education instruction. It encompasses the non-formal and informal sources of knowledge and skills. So this alternative learning system is also available in all the schools since schools also provided us for the out-of-school youth for them to also have the education that is for them. Okay, next is the basic education. So what is this basic education? So it is the education intended to meet the basic learning needs, which lays the foundation in which subsequent learning can be based. It encompasses early childhood, elementary and high school education, as well as alternative learning systems for out-of-school youth and adult learners, and includes education for those with special needs. So when we say basic education, it started in the childhood. So nowadays it is the kindergarten, which is also needed before you or before the child can be enrolled in the elementary and in the high school, so on. So when we say basic, those are the education, or this is the education uh, learned by the learners in the school. Okay. So when we say cluster of schools, so it is a group of schools which are geographically contiguous and brought together to improve the learning outcomes. So it is a group of schools. They will help each other to improve the learning outcomes of each school. So formal education, it is the systematic and deliberate a process of hierarchically structured and sequential learning corresponding to the general concept of elementary and secondary level of schooling. At the end of each level, the learner needs a certification in order to enter or advance to the next level. So when we say formal education, it is the education which we learn in the school. So starting from the kinder, if a child is or be graduated in the kindergarten, so the children or the child will be given a certification which prove that the child is already done with the kindergarten. Next is the elementary, of course. When we reach grade 6, we're given certification proving that we're already finished our elementary. So the same as the secondary, but nowadays, secondary or in the grade 10, we're only having the certification or the moving up ceremony since there is already grade 11 and 12 as the senior high school as the end or the last level of the secondary level, so which is the grade 12. Next is the informal education. It is a lifelong process of learning by which every person acquires and accumulates knowledge, skills, attitudes, and insights from daily experiences at home, at work, at play, and from life itself. So when we say informal, these are the education or the knowledge that we get outside the school. So the experiences that we have every time we are outside or even at home, uh, when we are outside the school, okay, the skills that we learn, the attitudes, and everything that we learn and experience outside the school is what we call the informal education. So next, the integrated school is a school that offers a complete basic education in one school site and has unified instructional programs. Okay, so when we say integrated schools, it composes the complete basic education, meaning um, before, okay lang na walang kindergarten, but nowadays, there is a kindergarten. So, pwedeng starting siya sa kindergarten, then elementary, then secondary, and the senior high school. There are schools which is not integrated. Like, for example, in the province, we have there, like, uh, Antonio Maceda High School. Okay? Pag elementary, Antonio Maceda Elementary School. But here in Manila, there are some cases that there are schools which is integrated, like Antonio A. Maceda Integrated School, which composes of the complete basic education, the offered elementary, secondary, which is from grade 7 to grade 10, and they also have the senior high school, which offered the grade 11 and grade 12. Okay, so okay, next is the learner. So when we say the learner, of course, as we understand, learner is the students. Okay, okay, it is any individual seeking basic literacy skills and functional life skills or support services for the improvement of the quality of his or her life. So we also could also be called as learner when we enrolled in the higher level like postgraduate and graduate. So when we teach the students, so the students is the learner. But when we enrolled in any courses, even though we're teachers, so in that time that we are there in the class, so we are the learners. Okay. So next is the learning center. So it's a physical space to house learning resources and facilities of a learning program for out of school youth and adults. It is a venue for face-to-face learning activities and other learning opportunities for community development and improvement of the people's quality of life. So if we hear the news, there are some barangays and some places which they they have a small learning center which they offer um, education uh, for those students na malayo na sa city. So pinupuntahan sila ni teacher, then they have the special class. Okay. Next is the learning facilitator. Is the key learning support person who is responsible for supervising, facilitating the learning process and activities of the learner. So the teacher is the example of the learning facilitator. So any person who support and responsible for supervising and facilitating the learning process. So those are the people called learning facilitator. So non-formal education is any organized, systematic educational activity carried outside the framework of the formal system to provide selected types of learning to a segment of the population. So when we say non-formal education, kaya ano ba yung mga example ng non-formal education? Kaya non-formal, like sa mga TESDA, di ba meron silang mga non-formal education offered. So, those courses offered are the non-formal education. Next is the quality education. Okay, from the word quality, so it is the appropriateness, relevance, and excellence of the education given to meet the needs and aspirations of an individual and society. So, excellence of the education, the relevance and excellence of the education. Okay, school is an educational institution, private and public, undertaking educational operation with a specific age group, pupils or students pursuing defined studies at defined levels, receiving instruction from teachers usually located in a building or a group of buildings in a particular physical or cyber site. So, school, it is a building, a school wherein you will hold your class or you will hold a class where there is a teacher and the students. But nowadays also, we also have the online class since there is a pandemic. So, meron tayong online class. We're using different modalities just to continue our learning or the education for the learners. Okay, last one is the school head. So, of course, school head is the person responsible for the administrative and instructional supervision of the school or cluster of schools. So, in short, the school head is the principal. Okay, chapter 1, the governance of basic education. So, we are now in section 5, the principles of shared governance. So, when you say shared governance is a principle which recognizes that every unit in the education bureaucracy has a particular role, task, and responsibility inherent in the office and for which it is principally accountable for outcomes. So, principle of shared governance, we have letter B, the process of democratic consultation shall be observed in the decision-making process at appropriate levels. So, feedback mechanism shall be established to ensure coordination and open communication of the central office with the regional division and school levels. So kapag may feedback, of course, it is good since there is an improvement. So ibig sabihin, kung may feedback, merong i-improve, so merong mangyayaring improvement. So next is the principles of accountability and transparency shall be operationalized in the performance of functions and responsibilities at all levels. And communication channels of field offices shall be strengthened to facilitate flow of information and expand linkages with other government agencies. So, kailangan there is a channel of communication. So, local government units and non-governmental organization for effective governance. Section 6, the governance, the Department of Education, Culture, and Sport shall henceforth be called the Department of Education. It shall be vested with authority, accountability, and responsibility for ensuring access to promoting equity in and improving the quality of basic education. The powers, duties, and function. So the Secretary of the Department of Education shall exercise overall authority and supervision over the operations of the department. So, si Secretary ng DepEd is the authorized person to supervise um, the Department of Education. So, the national level, yung sa central. So, we have the regional level, we have the division level, the schools district level, and the school level. So, Chapter 2, the transfer of cultural agencies, Section 8. So, cultural agencies, the Komisyon ng Wikang Pilipino, National Historical Institute, Record Management and Archives Office, and the National Library shall now be administratively attached to the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, or the NCAA. They are no longer with the Department of Education. The program for school arts and culture shall remain part of the school curriculum. Okay, Section 9, Abolition of BPESS. Okay, all functions, programs, and activities of the Department of Education related to sports competition shall be transferred to the PSC or the Philippine Sports Commission, not anymore in the DepEd. Okay, the Bureau of Physical Education and the School Sports or the BPESS is hereby abolished. So Section 10, the The Secretary of Education and the Secretary of Budget and Management shall, within 90 days from the approval of this Act, jointly promulgate the guidelines on the allocation, distribution, and utilization of resources provided by the national government for the field offices, taking into consideration the uniqueness of the working condition of the teaching services. So they are only given 90 days from the approval of the Act or the RA 9155. Okay, Section 11. The Secretary of the Department of Education, subject to civil service laws and regulations, shall issue appropriate personnel policy rules and regulations that will best meet the requirements of the teaching professions, taking into consideration the uniqueness of the working condition of the teaching service. So, the Secretary of DepEd will be the one to um, make a laws and regulation on how to um, to hire teachers, especially na to hire teachers, okay, kung ano yung makakabuti sa department. So Section 12, the Commission on Audit and the issuance of audit rules and regulations that will govern the utilization of all resources as well as the liquidation, recording, and reporting thereof shall take into account the different characteristics and distinct features of the department's field offices, its organizational setup, as well as the nature of the operations of schools and learning centers. So, the Department of Education, of course, uh, there is a commission on audit wherein they will audit all the resources, as well as the liquidations, the recordings, and reporting of all the things that the Department of Education want to do or want to build or anything inside the department. So Chapter 5, Final Provisions, Section 13. So governance in the ARMM or the Regional Education Secretary for the Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao or the ARMM shall exercise similar governance authority over the divisions, the districts, schools, and learning centers in the region as may be provided in the Organic Act without prejudice to the provisions of Republic Act Number 9054 entitled An Act to Strengthen and Expand the Organic Act for the Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, amending for the purpose Republic Act Number 6734 entitled An Act Providing for the Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao as amended. Okay. Section 14, the Rules and Regulations. So the Secretary of Education shall promulgate the implementing rules and regulations within 90 days after the approval of this Act, provided that the Secretary of Education shall fully implement the principle and shared governance within 2 years after the approval of this Act. So here still, the Secretary of Education only given 90 days after the approval of this Act or the Act to implement the rules and regulations. Section 15, the Separability Clause. If, for any reason, any portion or provision of this Act shall be declared unconstitutional, other parts or provision thereof which are not affected thereby shall continue to be in full force and effect. So yung mga hindi naman kasama, hindi naman naapektuhan, so they will continue to be in full force and effect. Section 16, Repealing Clause. So all laws, decrees, executive orders, rules, and regulations, part or parts thereof, inconsistent with the provision of this Act are hereby repealed or modified accordingly. And Section 17, the Effectivity Clause. This Act shall take effect 15 days following its publication in at least 2 newspapers of general circulations. So it will take effect